Hey there viewers, it's Charlie. I'm back again with another Transformers review, and today's review is going to be on Hunt for the Decepticons Payload. Now this guy is a yellow recolor of Longhaul from the Revenge of the Fallen toy line. And, well, this is a very Generation 2-esque recolor, in my opinion. Because, well, if you remember, the Constructicons were recolored yellow in Generation 2. So, this is very similar to that. Because Longhaul was originally green in the Revenge of the Fallen toy line. And then Payload here is a yellow recolor of him. Just like how the original Longhaul was green back in G1, and then in G2 he was recolored yellow. I can't tell if that was intentional or not, if this is supposed to be a G2 homage or not. But, well, other than that, this is obviously meant to be an earth mover, or a dump truck if you will. And it's a pretty hefty one at that. I mean, this is a Voyager class figure after all, so. So let's have a 360. Right on the side, we can see the Decepticon insignia. It's the standard one though, not the movie version, because this has the triangular eyes instead of the angular ones. Yeah, if you look at the movie-verse Decepticon insignia compared to the regular one, you can actually see that the eyes are different. So, that's just a standard Decepticon insignia instead of the movie-verse one. We can see some, I'm pretty sure that's weathering detailing on the dumping bed here, which is pretty cool. Here we have the back with the actual dumping bed. Oh, sorry, this is when my throat stops working. Here we have the other side. The Decepticon insignia is not on this side, unfortunately. Here we have the front. And the underneath, which doesn't have any robot junk underneath, which is really good. Although we do have the chest showing at the back. I'm not counting that as the undercarriage. I'm not counting that as undercarriage junk. I'm counting that as, like, if you look at the back. But yeah, you can still see the chest. So if you look at the back, so that still sucks. But, well, that's pretty much it for the vehicle mode. Although, for comparison, here is the only other dump truck transformer I have. Demolisher from Energon. Yeah, we can definitely see that Demolisher's more of a, well, this is meant to be more of a freelance design, whereas this is meant to be based on a specific truck design. I'm not sure which one, though. And we can see with Demolisher, he has a straight up hole through here. And with Payloads, that's not the case. The back, not much to say. One cool thing with Demolisher that Payload doesn't have is the dumping bed has this gigantic Decepticon insignia, which is really cool. But one thing that Payload has that Demolisher doesn't, his dumping bed actually works, which is really cool. So yeah, he can actually Yeah, there's not really much else to say. The bed actually works. So that is a really cool gimmick. And that's pretty much all I have to say. I'm having trouble getting these plugged in, although I probably just have these bits transformed wrong, because I was in a hurry to transform this for this video. But well, that's pretty much it for this mode, so let's get him transformed. So, let's straighten out my phone. Let's get this guy into his robot mode, eh? Okay, to start out, take the sides of the dumping bed and move them out. These are obviously going to be the arms. And I like to get these bits out right now, just to get them out of the way. And then fold out the hands. Okay, there we go. Take this bit and just flip that out and just get that out of the way for now. Pick the front section and split that. These are just little panels on the legs. Move this up. Scratch an itch on your eye because you're recording and your body decides to malfunction on you with stuff like itchy parts, and your voice just starts going a little hoarse on you because you had a really fun day yesterday. Yeah. If you couldn't tell, my voice is probably sounding different. I was shouting a lot last night. It was a fun school party, but yeah, as I try to get the legs out, my school was having a fun, like, late night party with loud music, and I had to shout a lot just to talk with people, so I think that affected my throat a little bit. So if my voice sounds hoarse, that's the reason why. But there we go. I've managed to get the legs out. Okay, before I plug this in, let's take these little panels, and these actually wrap around and plug into here. The wheels actually rotate. Well, not rotate, that's the portrait of words. They just maneuver a little bit, like so. Everything's just gonna flop around because it's not plugged in, but I'll do that once I get the feet transformed. So let's try and split the feet. I'm doing a pretty poor job of showing this. Oh, there we go. So it's like this, with the foot and the heel. Okay, there we go. Just pick that in, and this does unplug pretty easily, so that is a complaint. I'm just gonna straighten the arms to get them out of the way. Move the back out the way. Unplug the back wheels. These can actually split, and well, if I can actually get this bit to remain where it is because it keeps flopping. Okay, now almost got this transformed. Just need to straighten out the wheels on the shoulders, and then sort out the thing on his back, because it can actually be maneuvered in a couple of ways, but it can get a bit annoying to try and do. So okay, hang on. Okay, now there we go. Now I just need to just get this guy a bit, straighten this guy out. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, there we go. And here we have Payload in his robot modes. And that's definitely a fun transformation, if not a bit complex. And excuse me, that's just my dog. He seems to be really excited by visitors, so I'm just going to ignore him, as I always do. Let's just continue. Okay, as I was saying, that transformation is fun, but it can be a little bit complicated at times, especially when going from robot to vehicle modes. Now, a really cool gimmick is, with these side bits, if you press a button here, if you press that, then we get these really cool blades that pop out, or these red swords. And this is how I display him, with his swords deployed. So he's ready to slash at any Autobots. Now, the original long haul figure, these were not red. These were just a standard translucent plastic, so this is one part of the figure that looks better on Payload than on long haul. Now, when I first saw this figure, when I saw his head, I thought, oh god, no. And that's not because of the face design, because, well, I'm used to long haul's face in the movies. It's because of the color. Insert racist joke here. What I'm meaning is, I just couldn't see the face detailing that well, and I preferred long haul's. I just preferred long haul's face coloring, but well, the only reason I got Payload is because, well, he was easier to find, and to be honest, I'm actually glad I got this guy. I mean, well, as I said, the red swords look cool. This guy looks like a G2 version of movie long haul. And the leveling effect on the vehicle mode looks amazing, and if anything, the face color doesn't even bother me anymore, if I can even speak. Okay, so let's have a 360 of the figure before I go off on a tangent. Yeah, we can pretty much just see all this hanging off the back. Yeah. Okay, let's have a look at the actual face, because the movie Decepticon faces were always quite insectoid looking, and this one is no exception, because as you can see, it's pretty, well, it looks like he's got some kind of bug mouth, because at least they actually colored his mouth, so that's pretty cool. Alright now, so let's have a look at the articulation. Well, his head can turn, although it's a bit hard with all this on top, but a bit of Mechalive gimmickry, if that's even a word. I'm not sure, I'm pretty stupid. If you turn his head, there's a gear in his chest that actually moves. And another one is, if you're able to make him T-pose, which he can, there's pistons in his arms that actually move, if you can see that. And that's how the dumping bed's actually able to work in vehicle mode. So we can already... So, we've already established that his head can move and he can T-pose, but... he's able to shrug. Like he's questioning why there is not... Like he's questioning why he shares his name with a 2007 movie drone figure. We'll get into that later. His wrists can sort of move a little bit. The waist can't rotate, but it can detach quite easily. The legs can't move back, but they can move forward. If I get these out the way, you can sort of do the splits, or at least this far. And he has got knees. So, not as posable as other figures, but for a Decepticon Brute character, would you really want him to do, like, high kicks and somersaults? No, you just want him to do tough, I don't know, Brute, I'm gonna punch your face poses, or come at me poses. Or even seeing how he has swords, slashing at enemy poses. So the lack of certain bits of articulation, like a waist joint, can be a bit understandable. Well, that's pretty much all I have to say. So, do I recommend Payload? Well, complaints. Well, the waist does detach quite easily, so that's really annoying. Transformation can be a bit fiddly if you don't know what you're doing, but definitely not as fiddly as Mixed Masters transformation. If anything, really, the hardest bit is trying to get the legs transformed into the vehicle mode, but aside from that, it's really fun. And those are the only problems I have. So, do I recommend Payload or Long Haul for that matter? Well, definitely. This is one of my favorite Revenge of the Fallen figures, because this was a keep in mind, this was a Revenge of the Fallen mold. But yeah, well, Starscream is obviously my favorite movie figure right now. The lead of Starscream that I've reviewed. This is definitely another favorite, just because he looks so cool in his dump truck mode. And I just love how he looks in robot mode. The only thing I don't understand is, why does he share his name with a 2007 movie figure who was a drone, if you know what I'm talking about? But, Well, this has been my review on Hunt for the Decepticons Payload, and this is Charlie Young, signing off.